their heritage is paying them. It is something essential for their lives. And then there were certain questions which raised here were the conflict situation. How to tackle those conflict areas of working when you have this sort of Yasmin Lari's experience with the lower class inhabited around the site has worked well. She has got them involved. But there was another partition from one of our participants and who raised this question that we are aiming only at the lower state of the society. What about the other groups? The society is there and there are other groups as well. It is not a simple vacuum where you will be operating along with your Salam people. So it was not like this. So there are to be the other classes as well, the lower middle class, the middle class, and the stakeholders, the higher ones. So how you are going to deal with it? So there was this thing that if you are going in an area which is a broader and bigger and larger area, so then the sustainability will only be ensured if you have the legislation there. So legislation is also must, so that then you have another supporting tool for yourself where you have to implement your ideas egalitarianly, uniformly, equally, and then it will be seen by people and it will show. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It sounded like you've had a really very rich discussion in your group. Can we move to the other group on the other side of the table? Mr. Jihad.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Excellency. The group, the international, if you could call us the international people, thank you very much for accepting us and giving us the chance to chat and talk and discuss. Of course, we talked about the local community definitions, but I will not go through because we didn't go to the depth of finding a definition for the local community. We were looking for another aspects. We're looking about geographical interaction, the spiritual, the religious interaction. We were looking about the beneficiaries interaction and identity and the political interaction between the community, the communities, and the sites around them. But we have to admit that there is a cycle. The cycle, you know, for any site, the cycle means that the site needs, the community needs, and the developments. So we have to find, always we talked about finding a balance, finding a formula between all three important aspects which we could rely on while we are looking forward to preserve our heritage. We talked about training the host communities. These are very important key issues. We have to train, we have to transfer knowledge to the host communities because really from our experience, those people, those host communities will preserve, will sustain, and will guard the heritage for the future. We talked about the prophets, who's owns who, and the tangible prophets, the tangible beneficiaries, the communities, they have to touch, they have to feel those benefits in order to move and to work and to preserve more. We talked about conflict solutions committees. We have these examples in some committees from our countries. Such committees, they are responsible to solve some huge conflicts between different tribal and clans in remote areas. We talked about the reclaiming of heritage, the reclaiming of sites, because there is some local community has been removed from, or there was some either political or development projects. So the reclaiming, who will give them the right? They want to reclaim, they want to go back. They are the owners or the real owners of the heritage. We're talking about the legal status. We think the legal status, and I will connect this with the enabling environment. From our experience, if you want to build up a model for local community engagement, you have to work with a partnership with a governmental body. If you are an NGO, if you work alone, you will fail. You have to be with a real partnership with the governmental on the same level. because of that, if you work with partnership and the governmental body, the governmental entity feels that you are a good partner, then you can work together to proceed to build up a very good model. But in the meanwhile, the governmental body must prepare the atmosphere, the environment through the legal, the guidelines. We call it, in my experience, I'm building now in Jordan something called archaeological sites guidelines. Site uses. So if you want to use the site, there's a set of guidelines how you want to interact or use those archaeological sites. And mainly, this will build up the trust between different stakeholders. Regarding the management, we have to look for more broader to the management. The local communities are a very important part. They are not like a column or a street or a house or a mosque or a temple within the archaeological sites. No, they are the living people. So you have to let them feel the partnership, the sense of respect, because you want advice to protect the site. We talked about the traditional procedures. In some local communities, there is non-written agreements between different communities, different ethnic groups. So we have to admire and we have to respect such important procedures. I talked about the enabling environment, and I talked about the site cycles. So, and overall, we need to build up a good communication plans if we want to address the local communities on the same level. They are not workers. Sometimes they are the real owners of our heritage. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, can I hand the mic to you?
Thank you,
for
Shirley.
remarks?
First of all, thank you very much, and I welcome you all. And I have brought few written words I wrote for you formally. So if you allow me, that I can read it out. Honorable experts from Middle East and South Asia, Ms. Joni Han from UNESCO, and really glad to meet you. After a long time, we met in Poland. Vibeke Jensen, her team and your team from Karachi and country office, Yasmin Lari from Heritage Foundation, Dr. Kalimullah Shari, Secretary Culture, DG, and all distinguished experts here. It has been an immense pleasure to have this galaxy of experts and professionals gathering here in Karachi for this very important workshop. It has provided us a unique opportunity to witness the success stories from across the regions for safeguarding the heritage through the involvement of the local communities. On this occasion, I wish to express that we are fortunate to be the descendants of one of the oldest Bronze Age civilization, and we have seen its continuity in the various forms of our tangible and intangible cultural expressions. We are proud to have in Sindh two of the world's heritage sites which are unique in their history: art, architecture, and archaeology. It has been through the great architects and the artisans of the times that these sites significantly developed, flourished, and reached to their zenith in their contemporary civilizations. As the focus of this workshop is on the revival of ancient art of the glazed tiles and the protection of Makli, let me take this opportunity to applaud UNESCO for its excellent intervention in involving the local communities in the protection and preservation of this great archaeological site. Bringing the communities closer to their heritage sits in the heart of their protection, reviving the ancient arts and taking an absolute pride in living around the centers of their great archaeological history. Let me take this moment to assure all of you that the Ministry of Culture, Tourism, and Antiquities in Sindh will take up this component after its successful implementation and showcasing by the UNESCO and its partners. Let me also take this opportunity to proudly inform you that we, in a very short time, since August 2016, I took oath on 29th July 2016, have been able to put in place and implement at Makli the recommendations of the World Heritage Committee. UNESCO's reactive monitoring missions and continued technical support through its headquarters in Paris, country office in Islamabad, and its provincial office in Karachi have proved very helpful in guiding the Department of Culture in implementing the recommendations. If you have been to Makli before, you would see it yourself the difference that we have made to this site. I encourage all of you that during your field visit to the site tomorrow, please make it memorable for yourselves and for us with your views, suggestions, and further recommendations. Thank you for your great participation in this workshop, and I'll establish a close follow-up to the best practices in the region and experts' suggestions for taking up the community involvement at Makli to the new heights. Thank you once again. I wish you a pleasant stay in Karachi. These were few formal words that I wrote for you that I could read out here that should be the part of this workshop and on the record too. I'm very much concerned and feel responsible to conserve, preserve our archaeological sites and the cultural heritage. Regarding Makli, when I had first meeting with my department after taking my oath, I sat with them, and that was really an alarming situation for me. Makli was declared a World Heritage Site in 1982, if I am correct. After that, I feel really ashamed when I say that my ministry or the government was so irresponsible that they did not follow the recommendations given by the UNESCO. They were taking it very light. And it was again really, I feel ashamed when I share with you that your representative in Karachi, Mr. Qazi, when he sent me a message that if you have a few words to sit with me because I have been looking for your secretary and seeking for the appointment to sit with minister and secretary, they are not giving time to me and I have to discuss few things at that time. I said, well, forget the past. We have to start a new journey from here and with absolute zeal and fervor, and we will definitely look forward for the improvement of the site. Not only that, we'll go for the Mohenjo-daro, we'll conserve it, and we'll hold an international seminar conference on Mohenjo-daro at Mohenjo-daro. And we did it. And further, what we have planned, let me share with you, we are going to organize international conference on Makli at Makli in January 2018. 13th and 14th January are the dates which are fixed for the seminar or the conference. And if you are interested to participate in that conference, I invite you cordially that you be the part of that conference and make it successful. And this is not our heritage. This is your heritage too. This is world heritage, and you are the stakeholders and the owners as the we Sindhi people are. So thank you very much, and definitely when I'll get a recommendation of this workshop in written, and I'll follow the recommendations, and my ministry is responsible and committed, and we are always open to your suggestions, and I will always invite you for conducting this kind of seminars and workshops for our guidance, for department's guidance, and if you are concerned for the heritage of Sindh is well appreciated by the Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Antiquities. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for number one, being here today and showing your support to the importance of conservation of world heritage and cultural heritage in general, and specifically to the topic of involving communities. But of course also a big thank you for all the work you have been doing in terms of following up on the World Heritage Committee resolutions related to Makli. We really appreciate the collaboration we've had with you and your department, and thanks again. And a big thank you to all of you for having come all this way, for some of you, and for having participated so actively in the discussions of today. I believe we could actually easily have spent another day together to really get into the depth of the issue of community involvement in cultural heritage, because it is an issue that we really need to pay a lot more attention to, I think, here in Pakistan. You know, I've been here for 3 years now, and I quite quickly, said that we can do all the conservation work in the world, but if we don't have the support of the communities, and if we don't have the general support of the Pakistani public who really owns this heritage, what's the point? Because it will just get destroyed and vandalized in very little time. And I think that here in Sindh, with this project we have started in Makli, but that we are also planning to replicate in other places. You know, we are beginning to show the way, and I think it has been extremely useful to hear from our international experts today, you know, some of the very good practices that you are developing in your own context. As it was just said in the group work a little while ago, yeah, every context, every site and community have to develop their own way of doing things. But I still strongly believe that we can learn from one another. We can learn what are the do's and what are the don'ts. We can practice in our own context, but of course there's no need to reinvent the wheel if it's already invented somewhere. And I also want to say that, you know, for instance, we are very much involved in community mobilization around education, for instance, around girls' education. Many other organizations, I mean, a lot of organization and development workers are doing community mobilization. And it's different from sector to sector, but I still think we also can learn from other sectors what are some of the good practices and see how we can, again, apply them to this specific context. So, just to say, I think it's been an incredibly enriching debate today. We will put together a report and reflect all the good ideas and recommendations which are coming out of this meeting. Certainly it shouldn't be the last of this kind. I hope you will take this conversation back to your own countries and your own provinces, and also look at how more can be done in your context. And from UNESCO Islamabad side, we are in our program for the next few years very much focused on how do we precisely involve communities, involve young people, how do we bring education and culture together, because it has a lot to do also with education in its broadest sense. How can we make museums, for instance, also more spaces for learning from, I dare say, cradle to almost grave, because they can be it, and they can be very useful tools in this awareness raising. So with these words, once again, thank you so much. I think we're going to have dinner together at the hotel tonight at 7 o'clock, is it?
7:30.
7:30. What restaurant?
It's a Lebanese restaurant.
What is it called? I mean, do we meet in the lobby, or where do we meet?
Kebabji's.
Okay, so where do we meet in the lobby?
In the lobby.
So here in Karachi, you should offer them the cultural food rather than you are, offering them the Lebanese food, huh?
I think it was.
Yesterday we had around the world buffet, so today we are taking because of Middle Eastern experts.
They have been enjoying this food in their countries too, but you should have offered them our traditional cultural food.
I'm sure we'll get that for some of us when we go to Makli tomorrow, right? Because the plan is to go to Makli, and this workshop was also a kind of wrap-up of the Korean-funded Fountain Trust project that we have been doing there with the Heritage Foundation. So we'll go and have a look at what has been done, and we'll continue the conversation from today, sort of hands-on in the World Heritage Site. Yeah, for those of you who are not joining, safe travel back. For those who are joining, we look forward to continuing the conversation tomorrow. And of course, Honorable Minister, if you have time to join us for dinner, you are most welcome.
Actually, I was pretty occupied and committed with someone. Otherwise, I could join you definitely, because we are holding first International Tourism Expo tomorrow 3. I have to inaugurate tomorrow at 3.
So you're busy.
So I am. So unfortunately, if I would know it, before that, I could, spare my time for that to sit with you. It's my pleasure to be part of your company. Definitely. Hopefully, we'll be meeting again. And you are visiting Makli tomorrow. Wish you a good journey, and you enjoy the visit of Makli. And hopefully what we did in the brief, short span of time, you will witness it and you will give recommendations, and we'll definitely follow that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is our traditional gift of.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, it's beautiful.
Of course.
The scene is special.
Yes, in this case.
That's right.
And it's beautiful.
Yes. Yes, no, we don't have made it, but there are many with natural. We have a lot of them.
Different things.
Yes. Actually, the museum, the site has been was added in the work release for different culture.
Got so far.
So now we
visit you get one.
we start here.
We'll keep on coming back.
But I even also buy them.
I know.
They will come from then we change history of this
सर थोड़ा क्रॉस चाहिए सर थोड़ा क्रॉस चाहिए
Chemical and both sides.
Punjabi के नाम से टेक्स्ट शुक्रिया
साहब आपका क्या हाल है भाई? चलो बड़ा अच्छा
तो कौन है? हाँ? ये मत्ते है मत्ते है। Start the general clearing work of the site all time and remove the wild grass growth from all around the 10 acres. 912 acres area.
Okay, before we go in, I'd like you to admire this Zeroka, which is one of the most amazing pieces that exist in the necropolis. You'll find this beautiful carving, and you will see a lot of imagery from pre-Muslim time. There are lots of Hindu elements in this, as well as Muslim. I think probably that will explain more. That's the one with that.
One of the earliest monuments of that necropolis, and belonged to one of the kings, Sama ruler, Jam Nizamuddin, came from Gujarat, and the entire also from the Gujarat. They have carved richly, each and every block is very richly carved, and if you see the whole of pendants here, each pendant is different from others. Each carving is different from others. It is a unique, very massive structure which have due to its situation near the ridge of the that plateau. During construction, it was settled down so that dome or roof cannot be placed on it. But some other views are that due to this immediate situation of that ridge along the old bed of river, and this happened a settlement because the structure is very massive and
मान प्रीर का छदे बिल्कुल पाण खां ईमान सां मां अहिड़ी का ॻाल्हि कान्हे ॿाहिरि आहे मुंहिंजा ऐं हा डालो दोस्तों ना डालो
set of this. So, yeah, it's an amazing thing. We actually done measured drawings of each and every one of them, so we've got a whole data on this actually. And yeah. And there are geese as well. Where are the geese? The geese are up there. Can you see that the geese are there? And then you see, because it's early Islamic period, so there was no expertise here at the time. Because it's so early and they want to do a dome so it looks Islamic, but they had no expertise. And when you go inside, I'll give you a little bit of detail about how the whole structure has come out. You can see this again, piece that is very common. And it's just an amazing, the amalgamation is just incredible. So that's how it is.
आ जाओ आ जाओ
We have some evidence. The restoration outside. This is one of the masterpieces. We have the air race that we put engraved in the 8th century.
It's going to take a long time. Right time, right place, right man. Yeah.
Because the whole thing started with the saint who's buried next door or here.
Why is it known as
Yes, so he's the one. He's buried but his monastery is here.
Many monuments.
See, they brought actually.
Original.
Yes, it said on which is now, I think now the Hindu
Rogers.
that's why they this is why they said that they would not
before this goes?
I think it's a good idea.
Efforts and your thank you very much.
I hope you have been comfortable.
Time laden with salt. Rolling the stone. And this really is again not as spectacular as the Jam Nizamuddin, but really among the most important. Or really, we've seen all the things. The beautiful calligraphy is all eroded now. Yes.
Did you see this structure standing sometimes?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that probably we have. Yes.
You see this columns and what, I mean, the half size of the other one.
Yeah.
That columns. And then, I mean, it's unbelievable. It's very near.
But also it provides some kind of layer of protection. And I was just saying in Jan Baba,
This is one of my favorite
boards of a lot of empirical stones. So that there's no more behind them. And I think similar things can be applied to some of them. Not all of them, because some are very highly eroded now. So I'm not sure what is, but something must be done. Very gently and very carefully.
It's like pavilion, but we are going to be.
How to do it so that but there are lots of stones that I think can be erected also.
Can you imagine
because we have the design, we know what it was like. I think we can look for all that. क्योंकि बहुत सी पड़ी है जो हम उठा के
सारी चीजें इधर ही पड़ी हैं तो अगर
नहीं आप आप जैसे भी करवाना चाहो एक्चुअली मेरा सजेशन ये भी है कि हम आपके लोगों को ट्रेन कर दें
वो तो जरूरी है वो तो इनबिल्ट है
क्योंकि असल में एक प्रॉब्लम ये वाली a lot of times it's not that people don't want to do it they don't know कि क्या चीज़ है असल में मसला ये वाला है मेरे ख्याल में जो लोग मेरे ख्याल है हेरिटेज में काम करते हैं उनका काफी दिल है इसमें तभी काम करते हैं
और प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि लोग तो हमारे पास हैं और काम भी जानते हैं लेकिन न करने वाली बात के गवर्नमेंट की चीजें ऐसे लेकिन जब डंड आउट है तो काम हो रहा है अभी हो रहा है बेहतरीन कैमरा
أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد.
Kalama.
Yeah. والله خير حافظا وهو أرحم الراحمين. الراحمين. This is the noon. This is the trace of the noon. Yeah. وهو أرحم الراحمين. This is the noon here. Yeah. Still. Amazing.
We record 1 month data in lab में. इसका डेटा जो है वो कंटिन्यू हम ले लें इससे शुरू करें और हमारा जो मेन ऑफिस यहाँ से आप डेटा ले सकते
Yes, I remember. You go to them, but then without data.
So yeah.
I remember.
Okay, you can have a look at this from here. This is like a farm.
और ये देखो इसका जो डोम है, it's a this herringbone dome. Yes, these domes, brick crystal layers are beautiful. So, the layers of crystal are beautiful from the dome.
Zafar, आ जाओ.
We were completely tapping to put in the further filtered water. This is good line.
And can you not just stabilize it where it is right now? Just be careful about how much you put the engineer बनाएंगे ये फर्क निकालेंगे इसकी कोई ड्राइंग वगैरह बनाएंगे चल
इसकी स्पेशली इसी साइज की कलर प्रिंट मारेंगे ऊपर पे और ये डालेंगे और एक्चुअली ये छोड़िए वो डालेंगे
लेकिन आज यहाँ जो है ना मतलब हम ये स्टडी कर रहे हैं कि इसके जो टॉप है उसको जैसे है वैसे क्यों ठीक कर सकते हैं टॉप प्लास्टिक What you are going to do
अच्छा अभी पहले हम सत्संग में जाना चाहते हैं आप लोग आगे